On a lone street corner on a sunny day in Grand Crossing, you can hear drilling, digging, and lifting, the sounds of community being built. You see it physically as a garden grows on an abandoned lot, but more importantly, you can see it in the helping hands and wide smiles, creating communion in a space where only weeds once stood. Since 2010, Theaster Gates Rebuild Foundation has been on this block helping breathe life into Grand Crossing through artistic and cultural engagement. Gates, known for making larger-than-life art installations, is pushing art beyond its studio walls and onto the street to show the role culture plays in neighborhood revitalization.
Artists, if we choose, can be really good partners in the transformation that happens in cities.
Rebuild's next project is the Dorchester Art Housing Collaborative, which opened November 20th with 32 mixed-income rental units and an arts center. The rehab of the Chicago Housing Authority's closed Dante Harper Apartments is a partnership between the City of Chicago, CHA, Brenshaw Development, and Rebuild, with a gleaming new dance-focused arts center. It will be an anchor for Rebuild's artistic programming as it works to revitalize a community struggling with underemployment and violence.
This used to be a really horrible neighborhood. We had a lot of problems with gangs and drugs and shooting for a large amount of time. And now it's in transition. It's doing so much better. It's not perfect by a long way, but it's doing a lot better. And a lot of it has to do with the Rebuild Foundation.
I think a lot of times, especially today, people don't know each other. Even though you've probably lived next door to someone for 5 or 10 years, you don't really know them. And through Rebuild, with some of the programming, neighbors get together and get to know each other, and then they start to look out for each other and look out for their property. And there's a sense of belonging, as well as just the practicality of being in a safer neighborhood.
Because there's a lot of great things happening in this neighborhood, which goes back to your uniqueness question, is that we have the Dorchester Art Housing Collaborative here, which is housing. The Rebuild Foundation has their projects on Dorchester Street, and right across the street is the South Shore Fine Arts Academy. So there begins to get a cultural synergy going on here, and this is just one piece of it.
What I found is that artists are much more compassionate and sensitive and generous as citizens in the world than some others, and that we also often have to solve our own problems of limited resources, and so we become useful allies. And I think it's that alliance between whatever is happening in a neighborhood and then what an artist might offer to that place that makes for the possibility of a kind of interesting transformation.
CHA resident Frida Phillips moved into one of the units with her son, finding housing was a priority for her as she was worried about how instability was impacting her son's education and future.
We've been home to home, me and my son, like we've been trying to make means eat meat, and it's been real difficult. You know, we haven't had a steady home since we lived in Park Forest 2 years ago. My son has his own room. We have a little more privacy. I got a big kitchen, I can cook all I want, and I'm loving the hardwood floors. I love the ceiling fans in every room. Like, to me, it's luxury. I like it.
Ms. Phillips and her son are one of 12 CHA families that will call the mixed-income Dorchester Art Housing Collaborative home. For her and many others on the block, the Housing and Arts Center will provide a wealth of new opportunities.
I think I'm going to take more initiative to actually see what this neighborhood is about. Because at first, you know, I was scared. I never stayed in the city a day in my life, me or my son, not even for a babysitter. So when they gave me the opportunity to try something new, the art center, the school right here on the next block, we have a church right here, like, you can't go wrong with that. You can make this neighborhood right here your business. This can be your priority. This can be your home.
If I were to try to articulate an end goal, one thing would be that Grand Crossing would cross over from being perceived as a place where only violence happens to a place where the most amazing, most ambitious cultural things happen in the city. and that the real challenges that come as a result of disparity, economic disparity, educational disparity, that there would be ways in which that new light that's being shown would also create new kinds of opportunities, that we would have a whole and healthy community that has more of everything that a community should, because culture was part of the driver that led to that.